So, I'm Dr. Jansi Rani, professor in biochemistry and Department of Biochemistry. So, we will start with the continuation of yesterday's class, Chemistry of Lipids. So, we have seen all those categorization, various examples for simple, compound, and derived lipids. So, let's move on to essential fatty acids. So, what are essential fatty acids? Fatty acids which are not synthesized in the body and they are supplemented in the diet, they are called as the essential fatty acids. As the name suggests, it is fatty acids which are not synthesized in the body and they are supplemented in the diet. They are called as essential fatty acids. All of them are polyunsaturated fatty acids. Linoleic acid, which is present in walnuts, wheat germ oil, canola oil, fish liver oil, egg, human milk, organ meats, seafood, fatty fish. Linolenic acid, this is abundant in corn oil, peanut oil, cottonseed oil, soya bean oil, and many plant oils are the main sources of linolenic acid. Arachidonic acid, this is formed from linoleic acid. So, the essential fatty acids are linoleic, linolenic, and arachidonic acid. Let's move on to the next slide. What are the functions of essential fatty acids? So, the formation of healthy cell membranes. It is involved in proper development of the central nervous system. Production of hormones like substances called eicosanoids, which means icosa means 20. So 20 carbon atoms. The compounds which has 20 carbon atoms. Thromboxanes, one of the example, leukotrienes and prostaglandins. These are the examples for eicosanoids, which has 20 carbon atoms. It is responsible for regulation of blood pressure, blood vessels, vasoconstriction, immune and inflammatory system. Biochemical basis of this. Humans, usually they lack these enzymes, which they can introduce double bonds beyond carbon between 9 to 10 during synthesis. Functions of essential fatty acids. What are the various functions? So it is involved in membrane structure and it's one of the function, and also it transports the cholesterol, and also it functions as lipoproteins, and also it prevents fatty liver. Next is what is the deficiency states of essential fatty acids, which leads to what are the conditions basically? One is phrinoderma and poor wound healing. These are the conditions. So you have this glance at this picture, which resembles as a toad skin. Look at this toad skin, how it is. So it is. It almost resembles like that. So this is due to deficiency of essential fatty acid. And wound is not healed, poor wound healing. Because of essential fatty acid and deficiency, you have wound healing, delayed wound healing. What are the various adverse effects of essential fatty acids? So it causes, number one, hemorrhagic dermatitis, skin atrophy, scaly dermatitis, dry skin, weakness, impaired vision, tingling sensations, mood swings, edema, increased BP, increased triglycerides, hemorrhagic folliculitis, hematological disturbances, immune diseases, and impaired growth. All these are the adverse effects of essential fatty acids, which means if you take more of essential fatty acids, it causes all these effects, that is adverse effects. Isomerism in fatty acid. So you have two types, cis configuration and trans configuration. This configuration is nothing but if atoms are on the same side of the double bond. Example, so they transform or trans configuration is if atoms are on opposite sides of double bond. And hydroxy group fatty acid. Hydroxyl groups are attached to some fatty acid. Example, beta hydroxybutyric acid, cerebronic acid, etc. Cyclic fatty acids. Some fatty acids, they exist in cyclic form. Example, chalmugric oil, that is, which is used in leprosy. So it is to cure that chalmugra oil or chalmugric oil. Triazyl glycerol or triglycerides. It's nothing but esters of glycerol with fatty acids. Example, fats, oils of both plants and animals. In animals, the storage form is triglycerides. So, fat reserves are chemically made up of triazyl glycerol. Simple triglycerides, it is nothing but all three fatty acids are of same type. This is one of the classification under triazyl glycerol. And if you have a mixed type, that is mixed triglycerides, which contains 2 to 3 different types of fatty acid. These are mostly common. So you have this pictorial for representation or the chemical formula glycerol. So they have 3 OH groups attached to carbon atom. That's why it's called as glycerol. Glycerol component of triglycerol. So have a look at this. So you have triazyl glycerol component is highlighted here of the triazyl glycerol. What are the properties of triazyl glycerol? So hydrolysis, it's an enzymatic hydrolysis of triazyl glycerol. It liberates free acids and glycerol. Next property is saponification. What is saponification? So hydrolysis of TAG, that is triazyl glycerol, with alkali to produce glycerol and soap. Triazyl glycerol and sodium hydroxide, when it is combined, it gives glycerol and salts of fatty acids. So this happens in saponification, one of the property of triazyl glycerol. Third one is iodine number. Iodine number of fat is defined as the number of grams of iodine taken up by 100 grams of fat. It is an index of the degree of unsaturation and is directly proportional to the content of the unsaturated fatty acids. Higher the iodine number, higher is the degree of unsaturation. Example, iodine number of butter is 28 and that of sunflower oil is 130. Next is rancidity. What is rancidity? It is nothing but deterioration of fats and oils resembling in unpleasant taste. Unsaturated fatty acids are susceptible for rancidity. Rancidity occurs when fats are exposed to air, moisture, and bacteria. Rancidity results in formation of dicarboxylic acids, aldehydes, ketones, which are responsible for unpleasant odor and taste. Rancidity is of two types, hydrolytic rancidity and other one is oxidative rancidity. Under hydrolytic rancidity, partial hydrolysis of TAG, that is triacyl glycerol, by the bacterial enzymes. So that happens in hydrolytic rancidity. Oxidative rancidity, it is due to the oxidation of unsaturated fatty acids. Rancidity results in oxidative rancidity, oxidation of unsaturated fatty acids. Rancidity results in formation of dicarboxylic acid, aldehydes, ketones, which are responsible for unpleasant odor and taste. O2 is required for, that is, oxygen is required for rancidity. Antioxidants, substances which used to prevent occurrence of oxidative rancidity. Example, tocopherol, hydroquinone, gallic acid, and naphthol. That is commercial preparations, which is mainly used to prevent this rancidity. Food preservatives also. So propyl gallate and butyl late hydroxytoluene. So these are some of the antioxidants which are used as food preservatives and also in commercial preparation to prevent it. Lipid peroxidation. What is lipid peroxidation? It is a non-enzymatic reaction catalyzed by oxygen. This may occur in tissue or in foods. Okay. The hydroxy peroxide formed is very reactive, and this leads to the formation of free radicals which oxidize protein and DNA, causing aging and cancer. So these are the few examples where some of the foods which are rich in antioxidants, and this can prevent the free radical generation and reduce the health related diseases. Next, we'll move on to phospholipids. What are phospholipids? They contain glycerol, then you have phosphates and nitrogenous base. Lecithin, this was discovered in 18th century by a German biochemist by name Ernest Hochschild Strecker, and mainly Pollen is also detected in 18th century, 1861, and in 1884, he described the sphingosine, sphingomyelin, cerebrocytes, cephalin, and lecithin in brain tissue. What are phosphatidates? Phosphatidates are nothing but they are the derivatives of phosphatidic acid, which is the simplest phospholipid. Phosphatidic acid is made up of one glycerol to which two fatty acid residues are esterified to carbon atoms 1 and 2, and third hydroxyl group is esterified to the phosphoric acid. So you can have a look at the picture how that phosphate group is being attached. This is amphipathic in nature. Phospholipids are amphipathic, particularly lecithin, both hydrophobic and hydrophilic portion in a molecule. So you can just have a look at this picture. So it is the whole thing is, which is a component of choline, phosphate, and glycerol with a long non-polar hydrophobic tail, and this is the this constitutes as a head, hydrophobic polar head, and this is the whole thing is a phospholipid. This is magnet. So you can just have a look at this. It is a phospholipid bilayer. Next one is micellar formation. What is micellar formation? When phospholipids are distributed in water, their hydrophobic parts keep away from water, forming molecular aggregates called as the micellae. This is involved in solubilization of lipids in aqueous media, and which helps in digestion and absorption of lipids. So you can just have a look at this and the lipid bilayer, okay, and how it is becoming micelles, how it is becoming the round molecule called as the micelles in water. Okay, liposomes, water. This is a picture of lipid bilayered membrane, which is called as the liposome. What are liposomes? So as I said, we have explained, a lipid bilayer will closely on appropriate condition, it forms the liposomes. So it is a unilamellar or multilamellar, and multilamellar liposomes which may be formed are prepared by sonication of mixtures of phospholipids and cholesterol. Liposomes are nothing but they are microscopic spherical vesicles as shown in the picture. When it is mixed in water under special conditions, the phospholipids arrange themselves to form a bilayered membrane which encloses some of the water in the phospholipid sphere. Drugs, proteins, enzymes, genes, etc. It can be encapsulated by the liposomes, which could act as a carriers for these substances to target the organs. Liposome, it can be used, its entrapped drugs exhibit superior pharmacological properties than those observed with conventional formulations. Liposomes have important applications in cancer chemotherapy, antimicrobial therapy, gene therapy, vaccines, and diagnostic imaging. What are biomembranes? The molecules, biomembranes are mainly made up of this lipid layer. That's why it is coming here. So the molecules align themselves to form monolayers with the polar heads pointing in one direction and the nonpolar tails in the opposite direction. Only fatty acids with more than 6 carbon atoms form monolayers. They main role as components of biomembranes. The self-assembly of phospholipids into bilayer is driven by hydrophobic interaction, which also acts as the detergents and emulsifying agents. In vivo, they act as the pulmonary surfactants. Phosphatidylcholine or lecithin. Phosphoric acid is added to the third position to form phosphatidic acid. The phosphate group is esterified to the quaternary nitrogen base choline. So you can just have a look at this, how these are formed. So lecithin is acted upon by phospholipase A1 and A2, giving lysolecithin and fatty acid. Phospholipase A2 to lysolecithin and fatty acid. Lecithin is acted upon by A1, phospholipase A1 to acyl glycerophosphoryl choline and fatty acid. Then lecithin is acted upon phospholipase C to give you 1,2-diacyl glycerol and phosphoryl choline. Then lecithin phospholipase D is acted upon to give you phosphatidic acid and choline. The action of is the chemical formula, how it is getting acted on that. So action of phospholipase A2 is here. Action of phospholipase A1 here. And here it is action of phospholipase D. And here it is action of phospholipase C. Lung surfactants. Normal lung function depends on synthesis of lung surfactants produced by epithelial cells, decreases surface tension of the aqueous layer of lung, and prevents collapse of lung alveoli. Constituents of surfactants are dipalmityl lecithin, phosphatidylglycerol, cholesterol, and surfactant proteins like A, B, and C. In fetal life, the lung synthesizes sphingomyelin before 28 weeks of gestation, but as fetus matures, more lecithin is synthesized. So, lecithin sphingomyelin, LS ratio of amniotic fluid is an index of fetal maturity. Ratio of 2 indicates full lung maturity. Low levels of surfactant leads to respiratory distress syndrome, RDS, which is a common cause of neonatal morbidity. Respiratory distress syndrome, RDS, it is due to a defect in biosynthesis of dipalmityl lecithin, DPL, the main pulmonary surfactant. Premature infants have a higher incidence of RDS because the immature lungs do not synthesize enough dipalmityl lecithin, DPL. Second one is phosphatidylethanolamine or cephalin. Cephalin differs from lecithin in that the nitrogen-based ethanolamine is present instead of choline. Cephalin is also found in biomembranes and possesses amphipathic properties. So cephalin picture formula, you can have a look at it. Third one is phosphatidylinositol. Phosphatidic acid is esterified to inositol. Phosphatidylinositol phosphate is present in biomembranes and they act as the second messenger. Plasmalogens, which have a aliphatic long chain unsaturated alcohol neither linkage with the first hydroxy group of glycerol. So the alcohols, they have about C12 to C18 chain length. Plasmalogens are found in biomembranes in brain and muscle. This is the formula for plasmalogen. Then next one is phosphatidylglycerol. It is formed by the esterification of phosphatidic acid to glycerol. When two molecules of phosphatidic acid are linked with a molecule of glycerol, diphosphatidylglycerol or cardiolipin is formed. This is the major lipid of mitochondrial membrane. Decreased cardiolipid level leads to mitochondrial dysfunction and is accounted for heart failure, hypothyroidism, and some types of myopathies. Next one is sphingolipids. Sphingosine containing lipids are of three types: phosphosphingosides, glycosphingolipids, and sulfatidics. All lipids have the long aliphatic amino alcohol sphingosine. Seventh one is phosphosphingosides. They contain phosphoric acid group. A common phosphosphingoside present abundantly in biomembranes of the nervous system is sphingomyelin, which contains the choline, choline. Sphingomyelins are nothing but sphingomyelins are the only sphingolipid that contains phosphate and they have no sugar moiety. They are found in large quantities in nervous system. You can appreciate the picture formula. The relative portion of lecithin and sphingomyelin is important in biological fluids like bile, amniotic fluid, etc. Sphingomyelin combined with fatty acid is called ceramide, which is component of glycosphingolipids. So with this, we'll conclude. We'll continue tomorrow with non-phosphorylated lipids. Thank you.